in my village was dark before. You can only see the dim lights in each family's house where they use candle or kerosene lamp, which is a handmade. And it's just calm, peaceful, and dark.
Housekeeping. Yes, housekeeping. I make arts and craft, like basket. It's hard because when I make my arts, no light, and when my children, when they want to do their homework, no lights. That's the hardest.
Before, I live in Santa Teresa. My life was, I like go at the farm. I like go at the farm, plant things. Then I come sell it at the market. That's before. My village before doesn't have any light. We use candle. There's no light, no electricity in my village.
A world without electricity, without lights, without electronics, without appliances, no refrigerators to keep meats and other food items cold, no outlets to charge phones or laptops, not even a light bulb to read at night. That is how the villagers of Santa Teresa and Santa Elena in the Toledo district lived only a decade ago, lighting their candles and kerosene lamps every night, fire hazards in their thatch houses. But it was all they could do as they were blanketed in darkness every night, lacking a basic necessity most of us take for granted. But in 2013, Florentina Choco received the opportunity of a lifetime when she was selected by Plenty Belize, a nonprofit NGO based in Jacintoville, to travel from Toledo to Rajasthan, India, to learn about solar energy.
Before, when the Plenty Belize arrived in my village, they have one meeting with the community, and that's the time when they select two ladies to go in India for the training about solar. So on that day, the alcalde and the chairman selected two ladies, and the one was me, and the next lady was drop off. The next lady drop off. So it's only me now. My son encouraged me. He told me that, Mom, it's best for you to go for the training. Make you go and learn something. So, but me, I get scared, I afraid, I get nervous because that's the first time for me to hear about something like that, to go in other countries. So when the alcalde started to talk me about that, then I said, it's okay, I can go.
And 4 years later, sisters Miriam and Christina Chuck were able to follow in her footsteps.
It all happened when Plenty Belize reached in my community to talk about solar. First, they have done in Santa Teresa, and after they completed that, then they reached to my community and talked about it, and to see if the villagers are interested in having a solar light, like how we don't have access to electricity, and the community agreed, and we see that yes, it is important to us, to especially for the kids who are going to school. They need lights to do their homeworks, and us, the ladies too, we make craft. Sometimes at night, we don't have time during the day, and that is how we get selected by the community. I was very interested when I heard about solar. I want to learn different things. I want to learn more about solar. I didn't know anything about solar before. Nothing at all. You have to go through a lot of process to to get our papers. After we get our papers, then we fly to India in 2017.
I say yes because I want my delight in my village. That's why I interested. I volunteer myself to go. One lady was supposed to go, but she get pregnant on that time. That's why my sister she gone. I'm happy because I can't go alone. Special like me, I can't talk good in English and can't read. That's why I'm happy when my sister gone.
I was so excited, but at the same time, I am nervous. I felt something in me that I feel like afraid or scared of going to other countries because I don't know how the people there, how they will treat us, or the food and the culture, everything, and leaving your family. It's very hard, and it's sad because you are used to them, but I want something for my community, and I put my interest into it. So I have to do that, and I know that I am coming back, and yes, I did, and I make it.
When I left my home, I only talk to my kids. I tell them if they take care of themselves because me, I'm ready to go. Even though the lady drop her, but I never give up because in my mind, I said to myself that I want to help my community. I want to help children from school having light at home doing their homework. So I decided to go. I tell my children take care of themselves. And my son told me, Mom, don't worry. We will cook for our own food. But what? So I don't say nothing. I just go and which part I'm heading.
Leaving behind their families, friends, and everything they knew, these women boarded an airplane for the first time and made the journey across the Atlantic Ocean to Telonia, a small village that is the home of Barefoot College. But the long hours spent in the air was the easiest part of their mission. Once in India, they quickly realized that the language barrier would pose a problem.
When the instructors are talking to you, were you able to understand them?
Not really, but I try. I focus, and then a few speak English, but not really. It's not really spoken well, but I did understand, and we have the book they give us for guidance, and that's where we learn also.
I reach in India. I meet the people from there because I don't know them. But when I arrive there, I feel happy because I find the people who are willing to help us with the training. I feel happy. And we start to communicate, we start to talk. What's the difference is the language. I don't understand their language. It's hard to understand the language, but still I make it. We use sign language.
When I reached there in India, when I first got in class, when I see the ladies doing church controller and the light, I say to myself, I can't make it. But I start to see it and practical, then I learned how to make church controller.
What other challenges did you face when you were in India?
The food, the climate. When 2 weeks after when I reach in India, I get sick. I really did get sick. My throat hurts and I have fever, flu because of the climate change. It's so different there than here. The food is, to be honest, I don't really like it, but I just have to live with it, and I get used to it. Then I start to eat it. But when I reach, I feel of not eating anything. Even though I am hungry, but I just have to try and then I get used to it.
I get sick there, especially the food loan, vegetable with lot of oil. I get sick there because I sick then. I have like cholesterol. I can't eat like fats.
It's a challenging for me because my first time I don't know how to charge controller or assemble parts for the solar lantern. But still I learn it by watching the teacher, how the teacher do. They show us, they told us how which part to do, each component, each resistance. So I learned it. I learned it from them, and they are good teachers, they are friendly teacher, and they show me how to assemble the charge controller.
You at any point, feel like giving up?
No, I never give up. I never give up because my aim is to complete my training and come home with my skills. That's my aim when I was in India, this training.
I get used to there. I get used to the trainers, the other ladies, because we are like family there. We laugh, we have fun, we work together, we go eat together, and we share stories, or we advise, encourage each other. Sometimes maybe we give up, or sometimes we think about our country. Or when I was there, I worried, and one time I said to myself, what am I doing here? Does it work? Because I keep imagining my country, my families I left behind, and then I realized the other families there, or the other ladies, the other women there, they are enjoying, they are with their families, and me here alone in this strange country. What we know, we have our families, we have our countries, and we know what we went for, and we have to go back to our country, to our community, and give them what we learned.
And after 6 challenging but gratifying months, the ladies would finally be returning back home to Belize. However, they found that leaving India was bittersweet.
I think about the teachers, I think about my friends, because I have one friend there, she is from Brazil. When we are ready to return back home, we just left each other. She gone home, and I'm the one stay in the room. Me one, I left at the room. I'm the last one to left from India. All the rest gone. So I miss a lot of friends there. I miss the teachers. I miss my best friend Paula. When I return back in my country, I'm so happy to return back because I want to meet with my family, my sons. In reaching in Belize, I'm so excited.
I feel very, very excited. I mean, when I reached Belize, when I was getting close in the air, I was so excited. It doesn't feel like I want to sleep in the flight or anything. I just want to reach, and when I reached, I was so excited to see my husband was there waiting for me. And when we reached in my community, all my families were gathered together to welcome us, and that is the happiest moment we have in my family.
And while to put their newly gained knowledge to work, in Florentina's case, it would be almost another 2 years without electricity.
I waited like nearly 2 years when the material arrived in Santa Teresa. Then when the material arrived, the solar panels, the battery and everything, then after that I start to install for each household. But still the community are happy, and they help me to do the installation. They help me, they go with me, and And when the container reached, the people gathered and they helped us take out everything what reached for Santa Teresa. That's the material for the panels. They happy. When I start to do the installation, yes, it's kind of a little bit hard, but still, I still remember. I still remember how to install. I still install the one at the office because I have a workshop there. The office, that's the first one I did for this community center. Then after that, we gonna install each household. I feel very proud of myself that I do help my community.
In December of 2015, the Santa Teresa villagers blew out their candles and turned on their solar-powered lanterns for the first time. Less than 3 years later, the Chuck sisters returned to their village of Santa Elena to do the same.
After I reached in March, so Plenty Belize, they were the one who is coordinating for the solar project, and they were already working on it while I am in India, and it didn't take long. So in September, we started to install. I think in August or July, all the equipment reached. In September 2018, we did start to install the solar in each families. Yes, the families are very excited to see the solar reach and that we reach safe too.
I was happy because I learned something, and I happy when the light going to reach in my village.
The first night when we put the solars, the families are very excited. They're so happy, and that same night you can see the lights in their house. It's bright, and comparing to before that we haven't light, it's dim. Yes, of course you can see the lights, the candles in each family's house, but it was dim and you can only see a little. But when we install the solar, it's so bright and like it's beautiful. Things change. They were happy.
Happy indeed. After decades spent in the dark, once the sun set, 2 villages finally had access to electricity. And though these communities are small, the work of these housewives turned solar engineers had a huge impact. What had once seemed like an insurmountable task became a mission accomplished for these engineers, and the difficulties they faced throughout their journey became worthwhile.
I am proud of myself because I know we're doing something good and that will benefit for the people, for the children, and especially in my country, it's so different. Like the ladies weren't allowed to go, or they aren't allowed to leave their family. Whereas if you have a husband, you have to commit to. That's how it is in my culture, but I just manage it and we did it.
I feel very proud of myself that I do help my community.
But introducing those 2 villages to solar-powered electricity was only the beginning for the engineers.
After we complete the installation in my community, we sit down and we talked about what we want to do next with Plenty Belize. And well, to me, what I learned in India is not enough for me. To me, learning doesn't stop. That is the way how I see it. Even though we face challenges, I face like obstacles in life, but I overcome them. And you just have to believe in yourself.
And as the 3 women graduated from 40-watt systems to 100 and 120-watt systems for a project entitled Indigenous Female Solar Engineers Scaling Up Solar Energy to Machakilha and Graham Creek. This project would have the engineers visit 2 of Belize's most remote villages in the south, which even in 2022 were still without electricity. But the process to bring solar-powered electricity to these villages was slowed down by the pandemic.
It takes like 2.5 years. Worse when the COVID hit. That delayed the process, but still when it opens back, because we went to a lockdown after everything opened, we did not just stay home. We went back to them and talk to them, explain to them, and then we managed to work during COVID, and it happened. And then we take the two courses, PO1 and PO2 in solar, and then we graduated from that two course, and we learned about grid tied and bigger system, how to install like in series and things like that. What I learned in India is just like parallel and a 40-watt system. But now I learn more.
But learning to install the bigger system was only half the challenge. Traveling to the villages was no easy journey. In the case of Graham Creek, the way into the village is a 7-hour walk on a muddy, rutted road. And while Machakilha's road was recently built, it still needs a lot more work. But the engineers made the journey, and they said they would do it again if it meant being able to help others.
So far, what we are doing now, that we already helped 2 villages, Machakilha and Graham Creek. Those are the 2 villages we do so far. First, Santa Teresa, second, Santa Elena. Then after that, we do those 2 villages, Machakilha and Graham Creek. So to me, it looks good because we are going more forward to help this community, and I'm willing to help more who needs more help.
I feel the other communities want solar versus the one that are far in the remote bushes, and and I think you've experienced it too, that before the Machakilha we used to walk, especially Graham Creek. That's a very long journey to walk, and worse in the muddy, and then we went there in rainy seasons too, and that doesn't stop us from going there to reach to them. And I am just happy that everything is working, everything is going smooth, and we just have to cooperate and put our interest. Now that they have lights, they can do their homeworks, or they can charge their phones, their tablets, their laptops, because they get a bigger system, like a 20-watt system where you can charge your laptops, and it's more easier. And in Graham Creek and Machakilha, they get tablets through the government. I mean, the Ministry of Education did give them tablets, and I am, of course, yes, they are transformed to me.
And it wasn't just the villages that were transformed. The lives of the engineers were forever changed the moment they decided to leave Belize and travel to India to learn about solar-powered electricity. They now operate under a company called Belize Power Connect Limited, where they also install private systems. Being able to work with solar-powered electricity even motivated Florentina to move out of her village and into Punta Gorda town, where she and Miriam now attend Claver College Extension to get their high school diplomas.
I moved from my village because I come in town because it's easy for me to work here in town. I left my village because in my village you can go work only in farm, but no, I said to myself, I have to move. I moved from my village, then I am living in town for, I think it's going to 4 years now. So it's easy for me here because right here where we have our office, it's easy for me to go work there, catch bus, then come back home, and easy for me to use my phone, using internet.
Before, when I went to India, I was like, I just stay home as a housewife, and I make craft, I raise chicken, and now when I'm working with solar, like it did change. Something changed. Like I am more focused to work. I am willing to go to other communities, and also I want to learn, and we have our new company. We just registered. It's just new then, small, but and as a cheerleader, it was like I'm nervous, or I said to myself, can I do it? But I get advice, and thanks to them, to my family, to my friends who advise me that yes, nothing is possible. We all can do things, and we just need to help each other. And here I am now, and I'm still the chair for the BPCL company, and we're still moving forward, and we want to do more. And now I am attending River College Extension because I see it is important to me.
Because you didn't finish high school, right?
I didn't went to high school. When I'm in primary, my goal was to go in high school and then become somebody and have a successful life, but that doesn't happen. But still, school is in my mind. I still want to go to school, but how can I go? But until now, I have this opportunity, and thanks to them who are assisting me and advising me. But most of all, I want to thank the Almighty God for giving me strength, giving me knowledge to do all of this, and He's there to guide me each and every day.
And with almost 200 homes that now have electricity because of these engineers, they're now visiting other villages who still don't have access. And as they move forward, they continue to transform the Toledo district, one solar-powered system at a time.